Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977. Presented by Honda. We've been fans since day one. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977.
Welcome to New York. The Blue Jays are at Yankee Stadium for the first time this season, coming off a terrific win yesterday at home to complete the three-game sweep of the Kansas City Royals. John Gibbons Ball Club really playing good baseball at this time. They scored 15 runs on 15 hits yesterday, and they hope to carry that into the Yankee Stadium with them here this evening. The Blue Jays are 12-5, second in the East behind the Boston Red Sox. Kevin Pillar's got a 9-game hit streak, and he's doing some damage over those 9 games. 4 doubles, a triple, and 6 RBIs. And then down in the 8th spot, how about Luke Maile? He's got a 6-game hit streak, and he too coming up with big hits. 4 doubles and 8 RBIs last season. He had a total of 7 ribbies, so he's off to a great start this year, and they're set to take on the veteran, CC Sabathia.
CC comes off the disabled list to make this start. He went on the DL after his start April the 6th versus Baltimore. He only threw 4 innings against the Orioles, gave up a couple home runs to Machado, then had to leave with a hip strain. So he comes off the disabled list to face the Blue Jays for the 2nd time this season. He faced him the 3rd game of the year this season, and he will face him again tonight. He's got 17 of his 237 career wins against the Blue Jays in his illustrious career.
Well, the Yankees, they have really had problems on defense. They've committed 17 errors this year. It's very unlike them. They've got some good defenders, but right now they are not playing well. Sabathia is set. Here's the first pitch to Steve Pearce, and he fouls it right off the catcher. Looked like it caught him on the right hand. Gary Sanchez coming out from behind home plate. I'm not sure where it hit him, but it certainly clipped him, and you can see he's got a feel in his thumb. First pitch of the ball game, he takes a shot on the foul tip.
Let's see, off speed or off the shin guard?
Off the knee. You can see that knee pad is up off of the knee itself and doesn't provide much protection on that. There's a breaking ball for strike 2. It's quickly 0-2 to Steve Pearce.
Well, get used to that from CC Sabathia. He's going to throw a lot of cutters and a lot of change-ups. He's going to try to expand the strike zone once he gets ahead against the Blue Jay hitters. He'll start to nibble now on those corners, and he's got great command. When he first came up, it was hard fastball, hard breaking ball. Now he just mixes his pitches extremely well. Throws a lot of breaking stuff.
1-2 inside and ripped, but well fouled down the left side. Pearce, 3 homers and 9 ribbies so far this season. He's hit very well against lefty pitching. He's 7 for 21. He's also hit very well top of the order. Done a good job hitting in the leadoff spot, batting .348.
I think the Blue Jays as a whole have gotten a lot of production from their leadoff hitters.
Off speed pitch pulled on the ground. Torres at third, fires in time, 1 away. That'll bring Teoscar Hernandez up. He's off to a great start, 8 for 19 this season, but his hot streak dates back to last September.
Yeah, he had a great September. He hit 8 home runs. Add another one like he had yesterday. How about the last 24 games for the Blue Jays? A great average of .310. He's made those adjustments, and we'll talk about that as the game goes along. He looks like an everyday player to me. They got him from Houston. They weren't real sure what they were getting with Hernandez, but right now he looks like an everyday player.
Teoscar 1 for 3 in limited at bats against CC Sabathia. He had a career day yesterday. Went 4 for 5. He homered, hit a triple. His first career triple in his first 4-hit game of his career.
Young hitters, especially right-handed hitters in this ballpark, if you're not used to it, you can get a little intimidated by left center field. It's .399, so I think if you're a young hitter, look at all that space out there. Long fly balls are going to go to die out there, so get that base hit up the middle stroke going.
You know, what's really been interesting, and we talked about how many home runs he's hit for the Blue Jays, and I don't think he's trying to hit home runs. I think he's just trying to have good at bats, and the results have been very positive.
He's so strong, and he's got back quickness, especially through the strike zone. That bat really whistles through the strike zone.
1-2. Sabathia leaves one out over the plate, but there's that deep center field, and Hicks is there. 2 up, 2 down for Sabathia here in the first. We mentioned the defense. The Yankees have committed 17 errors, and they have been just porous all over the diamond. Good speed in the outfield, anchored by Hicks, and Torres is their super utility player.
5 of those errors are committed by their pitchers, so they got to clean that up just a little bit. Torres has done a good job for him. Just 1 error at third base. This is his 1 start at third base last season. 3 different third basemen already for the New York Yankees. Brandon Drury, who was supposed to be their everyday third baseman, still on the disabled list.
This is Justin Smoke, and a little dose of CC Sabathia might be just exactly what he needs. Going through a little bit of a tough stretch lately. But Smoke has hit well against Sabathia in the past, a .345 average with a pair of home runs.
Here are the numbers you were just talking about. He'll straighten things up when he's behind 0-2 and not try to pull so much. Sabathia is trying to get him to ground into the left side of that infield.
Changeup down and away. That's that pitch he has used a lot more frequently here in the later stages of his career.
He's really come up with a good one. Good changeup and a good cutter. Don't expect anything in the middle of the plate. He likes to keep the ball on the edges.
1-2. Grounded to short. Gregorius has it. Good start for CC Sabathia. Retires the side in order in the first. When we come back, Aaron Sanchez will make his 5th career start against the Yankees. Yankees has seen his team go 8-8 through the first 16 games, and they are 6.5 back of the front-running Boston Red Sox. take a look at their lineup. Brett Gardner top of the order, and then Aaron Judge in that 2 spot. He has really done a good job against the Blue Jays. And look at his average. Yeah, 316, but look, 6 doubles, 10 home runs, and 22 RBIs, and just 98 at bats. And Gary Sanchez is starting to heat up a little bit. Sanchez got off to a slow start, but it's not so anymore. He's got 3 doubles and 2 home runs in his last 5 games.
Yankees get Aaron Sanchez tonight. Aaron is ready for his 4th start of the season. Won his first game of the season last time out. Took that no-no into the 8th inning against the Orioles. 1-1 with a 366 earned run average. He has had 1 career start at Yankee Stadium. This is number 2 right here. He's 2-3 in his career versus the Yanks.
As we mentioned, this is his 5th career start against New York. Brett Gardner takes a first pitch strike. This is a totally different Sanchez than the Yankees saw the first time they faced him this season at Rogers Center.
Yeah, he was pretty decent for 5 innings against New York, 2nd game of the season. Tried to muscle his way through that final inning and just couldn't get it done. Looked like he was tiring. So instead of trying to go a little bit easier and just let the ball work itself, tried to muscle up, could not get through that inning. Last time out, different story.
He only threw 17 changeups in his first start against the Yankees over the course of 89 pitches. Fast forward to game 3, his 3rd start of the season against Baltimore, he threw 29 changeups.
What was impressive about that start down at Camden Yards was the amount of movement he was getting on his pitches. It wasn't just that he was throwing changeups. He was throwing changeups that were moving all over the place. Yeah, he had the 5 walks. That just tells you how much that ball was moving that day. But he was in control of himself. He was in control of his body.
Ground ball to Travis. Gardner's retired. When Sanchez is on, he's going to get a lot of ground balls. Let's take a look at the defense. Hernandez, Pilar, and Grichuk in the outfield. They don't expect to be very busy. It's going to be the infield and the catcher, Luke Maile.
Yeah, and John Gibbons has been very consistent in his usage of Russell Martin this year. 2 on, 1 off, and today is the day that he's going to be off. So Luke Maile, who's been swinging a hot bat, doing a great job behind the plate, gets the start tonight to work with Sanchez.
Maile making his 6th start of the season, and here is the aforementioned Aaron Judge. Judge goes after the first pitch and pulls it foul. Judge, for his career, a 316 hitter against the Blue Jays. He's 31 for 98. But he has hit 6 doubles, 10 home runs, and driven in 22 runs against the Jays.
He had a round of BP today, the first round of BP, where he sent about 5 straight balls soaring to right field. Looked like he was really trying to stay on the ball and not overcommit.
You know, this ballpark can be very helpful to right-handed hitters because it's so inviting to right field and right center. You don't have to necessarily pull the ball to hit home runs in this ballpark. I just think it can make every right-handed hitter better, understanding that, you know, in an old Yankee Stadium, you really had to crush a ball to the outfield to get it out, and you really thought about pulling it. But now that's not the case here.
Where it says 399 in New Yankee Stadium, it said 430 plus back then. Take your right field home runs, especially if you're as big as Judge.
3 balls and a strike to Aaron Judge, batting in the 2nd spot.
This is where Aaron, in his last start against Baltimore, was in total command. He didn't try and muscle when he was behind 3-1. Just took a little something more off.
Good fastball catches the outside corner. It's 3-2 now.
You and I ran into him after the game in the hotel lobby, and we were commenting about his fastball was about 94 miles an hour. I mean, he was under control, wasn't overthrowing anything.
That ball got away from him, and he walks Judge. For Judge, that's his 16th walk of the season, and that'll bring Didi Gregorius to the plate to face Aaron Sanchez. 3 starts this season. His first 2 starts, he combined to throw 11 2/3 his last start. Took a no-hitter into the 8th inning, completed 8 innings, allowed just 3 hits to the Orioles, an earned run. He was on his game.
Yeah, and the pitches per inning, those things add up after a while. Just 12 pitches per inning, 10 is fabulous. If you can get by with 10, you're going to be throwing a lot of complete games.
Didi Gregorius. Oh, here's a guy that gets overshadowed in this lineup, and he shouldn't. Look at those numbers. 333 average, 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and he's sitting third between Judge and Stanton.
Yeah, it becomes very important, too. Aaron Boone wanted to split up those big right-handed hitters. He needed a left-handed bat. Greg Bird went on the disabled list before the season even started, so they needed somebody to break up those righties. He picks Didi Gregorius. He's had a great start.
Gregorius has had a terrific start. He leads the majors in OPS at 1.268. Line to Travis, goes to first, but Judge is on his toes and gets back. Gregorius hit it sharply, but right to the second baseman. So 2 outs now for Giancarlo Stanton. And it has been kind of a rocky start for Stanton, especially here at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I've been hearing some boos on this homestand, but I think it's just a matter of time before he breaks out. He's only had 3 hits all year and 35 at-bats here at Yankee Stadium.
Sanchez throws a first pitch strike. There is something different about being a Yankee. I don't care how good you are or where you come from. There is certainly an adjustment period. Cut on and missed. It's 0-2.
He has had trouble with the elevated fastball. He's had a couple of games already this year where he has struck out 5 times. And watching those games, those pitchers have tried to go fastball up and a lot of times up and away. Just hasn't been able to catch up to him.
Stanton has struck out 29 times so far this season. What's wrong with that? Looked like a pretty good pitch to me.
Well, he went right to that scouting report, up and away with a fastball. He just didn't get the call. Stanton was able to lay off of it. There are the numbers here at home.
1-2 with Judge at first in 2 outs. Breaking ball got under it. It's headed toward the seats and will be out of play. He was out in front on the front foot and popped it up. Only Matt Olson of the A's has more strikeouts than Stanton. Stanton and Yoan Moncada of the White Sox have both struck out 29 times. Olson has struck out 32 times. But with strikeouts, and certainly with Olson and Stanton, you get power. You get a lot of home runs.
It's a trade-off. You have to choose. Before the season's over, he's going to have 40 home runs. Tried to guide that ball to the outside corner.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Now it's a full count. So with 2 outs, the runner at first, Aaron Judge, will be moving on the pitch. Smoke is asking the dugout, "You want me to stay on the bag?" And he will. You saw Gary Sanchez loosening up on deck. He'll be next.
Yeah, if it was a left-handed hitter, maybe you can play behind that runner at first base, but you got a big pole hitter in Stanton, so I think it'd be better off just to hold him there. Don't give him those extra few steps. In case he hits an extra base hit, maybe you can keep him at third.
There goes Judge, and Stanton gets a piece of it and fouls it back. You know, Aaron Sanchez using that changeup so effectively against Baltimore, I wouldn't use it against Stanton right now in this situation. I think the fastball, especially up, as you mentioned, has been a problem for him. And you might be doing him a favor by throwing that changeup.
Doing him a big favor, I think, because he sees the ball a little bit longer.
Hernandez dealing with a twilight sky, stays there, makes the catch, and Stanton's retired to Yankees. Leave a base runner. We've played an inning in New York. No score. Around a long time, and you take a look at the wins leader since 2001. He has the most wins at 237, but it's interesting, there are two former pitchers that worked with the Blue Jays that are on that list as well.
Mark Burley and the late Roy Halladay. 210. Tim Hudson sneaks on that list with 191. The breakdown for CC Sabathia, he's won 200 games in the American League and 37 games in the National League. Remember, he pitched for Milwaukee for a season after he was traded over there from Cleveland. He's also closing in on 3,000 strikeouts for his career.
He is 2 strikeouts behind Jim Bunning, 18th on the strikeout list. CC Sabathia is starting this game with 2,853 strikeouts. He is second on the active wins leader behind Bartolo Colon. Colon has 240 and CC has at 237.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, to watch him. This is his 512th career start. You know, we've seen a lot of pitchers come and go since CC started in the major leagues, and he's still going strong.
This is Yervis Solarte. Another changeup in there for a strike. 2-1 now to Solarte. He's off to a good start to his Blue Jays career, to 296 average with 3 doubles and 4 homers. He's also drawn 11 walks. He has more walks than strikeouts.
This is where it all started for him, right here with the Yankees. And when he was a young kid and he came up with the Yankees, they played him all over the place. You could tell he had a little pop in that bat, and it's starting to show. Over his last 10 games, 3 home runs. He hit a long one the other day against Kansas City.
Solarte played with the Yankees in 2014. He was 26. First team, came up, got a little opportunity to play, and then he was traded to San Diego. And the Blue Jays, of course, got him from San Diego. He was traded for Chase Headley. Headley's back in San Diego.
Headley just broke up a no-hitter the other day.
Solarte has been a nice addition to this ball club. He brings a lot of energy, and he's so enthusiastic, and we talked about it often, and it's about creating this great atmosphere, and the Blue Jays are taking advantage of that. And he takes another walk. That's 12 walks for Solarte so far this season. Kevin Pillar, riding a 9-game hit streak, has been able to get off to good starts in each of his last 2 Aprils.
This April in 2018 looks a lot like 2017. You add them together, only Mike Trout has had more hits in the month of April than Kevin Pillar. He's balanced at the plate. He's not over swinging. There's some great hitters on that list. Altuve, Jed Lowry. What an underrated player he has been. But Pillar, I tell you what, he looks good.
Swinging and hitting the ball to all fields. It's reflected in his .338 average.
I like the extra base hits that you're seeing off of his bat. If you pitch him inside, he can pull the ball down into that corner. You pitch him away, he's got that ability now to hit the ball the other way. There was a time, and I'm going to put it in past tense now. There was a time where he was a wild swinger. And he admitted, he said, I go up there and I'm just swinging the bat. I don't have a plan. I'm just looking for the ball and I'm just swinging. Now you see him and he's got a plan. We haven't seen, those swings of balls into dirt or over his head. So he's becoming a much better hitter.
Kevin now has over 2,000 major league at bats, and I think that's the key. Once you learn that if you hit strikes, you can hit anybody. But when he first came up, there were a lot of swings and misses. In his first taste of the big leagues, he had 206 in just 36 games in 2013. Shattered bat. That's a fair ball. Torres goes to second for one. That's all they'll get. Tyler Wade never thought about going to first. The Pitch Tracker is brought to you by Coors Light, official beer of Major League Baseball. Well, a very nice evening, and I say nice because it's not raining and it's not freezing. It's a little cool, but the clouds have broken up now. There's a pretty stiff breeze blowing from the third base foul line out to the right field seats. Ledmus Diaz You can see, I can say that it's comfortable, but Diaz doesn't think so.
Well, we don't have a heater. We should have a heater, right? And it's nice. It's nice. It's nicer than what it has been here in New York.
It's not rainy and miserable, that's for sure. Pulled on the ground. Torres dives to his left. One at second, back to first, not in time. Ronald Torres making his second start at third base. We talked about him being their super utility player. He plays all over the diamond, and he plays very well.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight him on the defense because he's done such a good job for him. Brandon Drury started there. He's on the DL. Miguel Andujar is on the team, and he's played some at third base, but Torres will get the start today, and he comes up big here. You got a ground ball pitcher now in Sabathia, so you better have airtight defense. And the Yankees almost turn it. Nice play.
Randall Grichuk will step in the batter's box with 2 outs and a man at first. Breaking ball in there for strike one. Of course, it's been well documented. Grichuk's off to a tough start. His first 17 games with the Blue Jays, hitting just .094.
He is showing signs, I think, Buck, that he's starting to come out of it. He hit a line drive yesterday. I mean, as hard as ball hit that we have seen this year, right to the left fielder and handcuffed the left fielder. He's been working every day with Brooke Jacoby about standing up just a little bit taller at the plate and using his hips just a little bit more. They want to get a little bit of a hip turn before he starts to swing the bat.
Strike three call. Sabathia with his first strikeout. Strikeout number 2,854 for the big left-hander. Blue Jays strand a base runner. Sanchez back to work the second.
Luke Maile behind the plate for Aaron Sanchez for the very first time this regular season, but Maile had caught Sanchez a lot this past spring training and watched the development of that changeup firsthand. Now, Maile told me that with Sanchez having such tremendous angle with his arm action, he's this bigger guy who throws downhill, has that nasty sinker. So when you add a changeup on top of that, not just to left-handed batters like most right-handers will do, but he's been so good at throwing it to righties as well. He's virtually unhittable. When he's on that pitch, he doesn't necessarily have to throw it by people, and the result we had in Baltimore proves just that. As for Maile, he extended his hit streak to 6 games yesterday. That's a new career high. The biggest difference, he told me, plate discipline. And Buck, don't think that Russell Martin hasn't noticed Maile's offensive output. Martin joked, quote, "Forget Wally Pipp, I've been Luke Mailed."
Well, it's easy for Russell to make light of the situation because Luke's done such a great job and Russell's had such a great career. It's an easy combination. They've really worked well together. Little looper into right. That's going to drop. Sanchez will extend his hit streak to 6 in a row with that little flare to right.
Shows you how strong Gary Sanchez is. He got beat by that fastball from Aaron Sanchez. Bore that fastball right in on his hands, and he's able to just push it off of him into the outfield. He's so strong, and watch how he fights that ball off of him out into no man's land.
Yeah, and you know, they felt the stinging in his hands after getting jammed on that. He and Smoke having a little bit of a light moment about that. You can see he's going, whoo, that one hurt.
Yeah, and when you're hitting 190, you got to take them.
Yeah, you take them all.
Mm-hmm.
That's just his 12th hit in 59 at bats. Here's Aaron Hicks. Hicks takes the first pitch strike. Hicks went on the DL in the first series of the season up in Toronto with that oblique injury. Boy, that's tough. You come right out of spring training trying to get into the flow of the season. You go on the DL.
It's key for him. He can run a little bit, plays center field. He's their best center fielder. And there's his ability to run just a little bit, trying to drag a bunt.
Hicks had a 2-run inside the park home run, his first of the season, and then backed it up with a solo shot in Friday's win at Detroit. Yeah, he's a guy that can get overlooked easily, but he adds a lot to this team.
Got him from the Minnesota Twins a couple of years ago, and he's really turned into a good ball player.
Smoke with a nice play. Gets up, fires to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. Boy, Smoke took a hit away from Aaron Hicks and almost turned it into a double play.
There's the speed again. Staying out of double play. That looked tailor-made to me. 3-6-3 double play. It's hit hard right to his glove side. He knocks it down, comes up fire. Now he can't get back. Sanchez has to take the throw over there, but Hicks beats it easily.
Yeah, he's running out of the left-handed hitter's box, so he is a couple of steps closer toward first and beats it out. So 1 out now for Neil Walker. He too, like Hicks, a switch hitter. You know, there's a growing maturation that we see with Aaron Sanchez. And the first couple of years he came up, especially out of the bullpen, he was a stuff guy. He just overstuffed everything. He just outstuffed pitchers, outstuffed hitters. But now he's starting to understand how to pitch.
Stuff-wise, as you were saying, exploding fastball, gigantic curveball, hard and heavy. There's another good fastball at 92. But when you pitch, I think if you're in control of your body, in control of what you can do, and that's what Pete Walker has been talking about, you know, staying under control and letting the pitches, not just overthrowing them, but throwing them for a purpose and throwing them where you need to get outs.
0-2.
We kind of half joked with him after that start in Baltimore, saying, hey, did you even break a sweat? Because he seemed so in control of himself and the ball was moving all over the place.
That's when it really becomes fun for a pitcher, and Pete Walker, the pitching coach, has done a terrific job with this entire pitching staff. trying to emphasize their strengths and improve their weaknesses. There goes Hicks. Cut on and fouled off. He got a terrific jump at first. Hicks does not have a stolen base this season, but he's always a threat to run. He's got good speed, as you can see.
I think he picked up on Aaron doing the same thing every pitch, timing it, holding on to it the same amount of time. You get out there and you go 1001, 1002, and you go. That's where Aaron's got to change up just a little bit, hold it just a little bit longer, or quick pitch and whatever you want to do, but just vary your times to home plate.
The Yankees have 8 stolen bases so far. They've been caught 3 times. So that's how you mix things up. Hold the ball, step off the runner.
Yeah, the runner will get a little antsy, get a little, hey, I want to go, and then you just mess up his timing.
Fly ball to right. Remember, it's not deep out there. Grichuk can't make the play. It bounces away from it. Hicks is around second. Walker will stop, and the ball will be thrown back in. The Blue Jays don't necessarily expect the Yankees to pull Sanchez. That looked like a changeup he hit off the end of the bat. It was just a fly ball to right because Grichuk was so far into the power alley in right center. He had a long run.
Yeah, you're right. There's the changeup. He doesn't hit it all that well. Looks like he hit it off the end of the bat because it's only 314 down the line. That ball's going to go off the wall. Long run for Grichuk. By the time he runs it down, second and third, and just 1 out. Tough to throw changeups out over the plate to left-handed batters in this ballpark.
So it'll go down as a double. Now here is Tyler Wade. Wade just 3 for 32 and 094 batting average.
Yeah, so the Yankees, I think, are liable to do anything here. They've been struggling to score some runs at times. They're down at the bottom of the order. The infield's going to play in at the corners. Hicks has the speed. I'm sure they're going to run the contact play here.
No score in the game. Sanchez hits that outside corner.
Wade was the last batter that Sanchez faced in that first start. Remember that? Hit a 2-run double that knocked Aaron out of the ball game. So now he's just trying to power the ball by him.
He only has 3 RBIs and 2 of them came on that hit. So Hicks is at third. Walker's at second. Ground ball, that's going to score a run. Travis goes to first. Hicks is in to score, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead. RBI for the second baseman.
Just trying to keep the ball on the ground. He knows if he keeps it in the middle of the diamond, he's going to score the run. Hitters will know if they have the contact play on. He'll get a sign from the third base coach that'll tell him, hey, I just need to make contact. Aaron almost came up with that ball. That would have been interesting.
So there are 2 outs, runners at third now. Neil Walker. Ronald Torres, boy, you got to be careful on the first pitch. He is a notorious first ball fastball hitter. He loves to swing at that first pitch. And he takes a strike. Sanchez might have gotten a favorable call there.
He's also hitting 385. Done a great job for him early in the season.
Torres is 10 for 26. He's got 3 doubles. A little bit more pop than you might expect. Little flare over the glove of the shortstop Diaz, and Torres picks up an RBI, his 4th of the season. So the bottom of the order coming through for the Yankees against Sanchez here in the second. Neither ball, the double off the wall, nor the RBI single were hard hit.
Or the single that started it all, the Gary Sanchez single to right field.
Little flare.
So if you're Aaron Sanchez, don't get discouraged. You know, you're throwing really well. They're just finding the holes on you right now. That one just out of the reach of Diaz.
2-0 New York. Back to the top of the order. Brett Gardner grounded out to second his first time up. This is an interesting test for the Blue Jays. They split to 4 games against New York in Rogers Center to start the season. And now their schedule gets a little more challenging.
Yeah, especially the next week. These 4 games here, and then they welcome the Red Sox.
Boston comes to town starting on Tuesday night, a 3-game series, followed by the Texas Rangers, and then the Blue Jays go to Minnesota, play 3 against the Twins, a doubleheader against Cleveland, and then down to Tampa Bay. The changeup in there for a strike. 1-1 to Brett Gardner. Gardner had to wait too long and ask for time. It was granted by the home plate umpire Ted Barrett. Aaron's making his 5th career start against the Yankees. Only his 2nd start here in New York. Popped out of play over the Blue Jays dugout.
Torres doesn't have a lot of speed over there at first base, but he's getting a huge secondary lead. So when Aaron Sanchez goes to the plate, he's taking some big hops off of the base. Usually when you see runners do that, that secondary steal attempt could come in, the delay steal. Really not known as a base stealer, but he's getting a huge secondary lead.
There he goes. Gardner strikes out. That ends the inning, but the Yankees break out on top. They score 2 runs on 3 hits. Nothing hit very hard against Sanchez, but New York takes the early lead. Some regular at bats, and it's paid big dividends for the Blue Jays.
And he's come up with some big hits for the Blue Jays. How about this walk-off in the 2nd game of the doubleheader on Tuesday, as the Blue Jays can enjoy that one. And then who could forget this right down the line? He's had a hit in all 6 games this season. 8 RBIs this year for Luke, tied for 2nd most among American League catchers. Gotten off to a great start.
Sure has, and of course he had a big pinch hit in the game yesterday, coming off the bench to bat for Gift in Gope. There are the numbers for his career, a .203 hitter, but off to a great start this year. You know, it was an unusual move when they pinch hit for Ngope. They had a scoring opportunity. DeMarlo Hale and John Gibbons had talked about it before the game. If this happens, we're going to go ahead and use our second catcher, which not many managers will do, to put him in the game. So you have both catchers in the game. But because Russell can play third base, it was an easy switch. Stay hot, Luke.
Making it look easy.
Gets the first hit of the ball game against CC Sabathia.
I think that gave a glimpse into everybody what the thinking is for the Blue Jays when they have to make that roster move tomorrow. Kendrys Morales is going to come off the disabled list. High breaking ball from CC Sabathia, slapped into left field. That move by pinch hitting Maley and seeing Russell play in the infield, we might see more of that now with Morales.
Yeah, and they're going to have to figure out how to best utilize a three-man bench. It's really challenging. Here's Devin Travis. Devin has had a rough go against CC Sabathia. He's batting .140 for the season. This is his 14th game, but against Sabathia, he's 1 for 20. Fouls that ball off his foot. You know, the Yankees bottom of the order came through against Sanchez last inning. It's always been a key for the Blue Jays. I don't care how good their teams have been or how struggling their offensive teams might be. When the bottom of the order gets on base, good things happen.
Yeah, you turn that lineup over, and then your best hitters, who you hit at the top of the lineup, they're coming up with runners on base. Puts a lot of stress on that pitcher. Devin's hit well in this ballpark in the past. Didn't he get his first big league home run right here?
I believe he did. He's had some success here, and it's just a matter of time before he gets it going with the bat. Breaking ball.
Ooh, high strike.
High strike. Devin, for his career, playing in his 15th game here at Yankee Stadium, he's a .286 hitter with 5 doubles and a home run. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball through the hole. Maley will stop at second as Travis comes up with his second career hit, and he's limping pretty good over there at first base. Remember, he got hit on that foul ball, and when he was making his way back to the bag, it looked like he felt something in that foot.
High cutter. Yeah, he's feeling it right there. Tell you what, he's missed some times because he's on that 2-on, 1-off rotation. There's Nicky Huffman, the trainer of the Blue Jays, keeping an eye on Devin.
Nicky is the head trainer in her first season as the head trainer of the Blue Jays, and she's the second female in any major sport to have the title of head trainer. He asked for her to come out. Oh, this is terrible news for Devin and the Blue Jays.
He's saying, I can't go.
Yeah. He felt it running toward first base after getting the base hit. And he's in a lot of pain. You know, Devin would be the last guy to want to come out of a game given the history he's had to deal with injuries. But he obviously feels like it's something significant, and I'd be surprised if he stays in the game.
Try and walk it off. It looks like he's trying to walk it off. Here's the foul ball. He's got that brace on his shin, but he hits it underneath that little padding there, and it looked like it was right off the top of his ankle. Cutter inside.
Right on the top of the instep. And you're right, it was just below the protection of that shin guard.
He's going to try and walk it off. He's been dinged up a lot already this year. He's been hit twice in the hand, once in the right and once in the left already this season. And again, they play him for a couple of days and then they sit him for a day. So you know Devin wants to play. He's just shaking his head going, I can't believe this is happening.
He did not play in the game yesterday. He's back in there and he certainly doesn't want to leave. He's been hit 3 times by pitches and now he has suffered a foul ball off his foot, but he got a base hit. So back-to-back base hits for the Blue Jays here in the 3rd. And here's Steve Pearce. Pearce grounded out to 3rd base his first time up. Pearce is in a good spot right now. He's swinging the bat with a lot of authority. To mention, he's got 3 doubles, 3 home runs, and he's driven in 9.
He's healthy. Here's the numbers with runners in scoring position. He's healthy this year, and I think we're seeing the real Steve Pearce. Last year he battled some injuries. Remember, he missed a lot of spring training last year and just didn't really get on track. This year pretty much healthy all through spring training, and he's been rewarding his manager with some big hits.
He's done a good job hitting in the leadoff spot. He and Granderson doing the majority of the work out of the first spot in the lineup. Pearce has hit 8 home runs in this ballpark. This is his 30th career game playing at Yankee Stadium, and he's hit over 300 for his career right here in New York. Way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. New York leads it 2-0. We're in the 3rd inning. CC Sabathia fresh off the DL, making his 3rd start of the season.
He is looking for something on the ground right now. I don't think you can look for a fastball and fastball counts from CC anymore.
Breaking ball. There's a ground ball. Torres will have to go to first. So Pearce moves both runners up. It works like a sacrifice, but Pearce puts it in play, and that moves the runners to second and third. We mentioned Sabathia making just his 3rd start of the season. He's now 37 years old. And you see the last 2 years what he has done against the Blue Jays in 6 starts. The Blue Jays have hit him around a little bit. This is his 34th career start against the Jays.
Hasn't gone very deep. He's walked his share, but he does have 17 wins against the Blue Jays in his career.
Well, here is Teoscar Hernandez with a chance to get the Blue Jays right back in this ball game early. Hernandez with a home run and 6 RBIs so far. He is 8 for 20. We talked about Hernandez making some subtle mechanical adjustments, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, when he first came over from Houston, he hit out of a closed stance. That left side was closer towards the plate. The right foot was back just a little bit. And he said, you know what, I wanted to square up my stance just a little bit. Incorporate a little bit of a leg kick so I can get back on my back foot. And it has really helped.
Ground ball. Maile holds at 3rd, and another good play by Torres. He's done a good job at 3rd base so far in this ball game, and it's really important when they got a lefty pitcher on the mound like Sabathia.
And you've got so many right-handed batters, and he's throwing cutter, sinker. That was a cutter in on the hands, so you're going to get a ground ball to the 3rd baseman. He looked at Luke Maile, and I thought Maile did the right thing in freezing there. He thought about going, and then the ground ball got to Torres. Torres looked at him. He was going to go home.
Well, it's really important you pay attention to where you are in the lineup, because now you got Smoke at the plate and Maile's still at 3rd, and there are 2 aboard. Might be a different story if you were down in the order where you got your 6th or 7th, 8th hitter in the box, but now it's Smoke, and you say, hold on, let's let Smokey hit with 2 on.
You might take a chance down in the order, but you got the RBI guys. These are the traditional RBI spots in the batting order.
Breaking ball. Quickly 0-2.
It's a great cutter. He's using it a lot this year.
This has been a real strength of the Blue Jays so far early in the season, delivering clutch hits. They need one now. Smoke, as we mentioned earlier, has hit well against Sabathia in the past. But as Pat mentioned, that Sabathia is a bit of a different pitcher now.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of cutters. He got Smokey to ground out to the shortstop last time on a cutter. Had him out in front. Got to really wait, I think, to pick up the baseball here. Don't commit too early against Sabathia.
CC wants another set of signs. He wasn't quite sure about this pitch selection by Sanchez, so they'll do it again. 1-2 to Smoke. Off the glove. Here comes a run. Mailey's going to score. That'll be a pass ball charge to Sanchez, his second of the season, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
Something wasn't right there. They were not on the same page, and he stepped off. He wanted another set of sign, and he got crossed up. He easily got crossed up. Watch this. He's expecting something down, and the ball just whizzes right by him.
Yeah, you could see the way the glove is moving as it expects the ball to break. It was a fastball, goes off his glove, and that cost the Yankees a run. We mentioned that's the second pass ball. '24th career pass ball charged to Sanchez. So Blue Jays take advantage. They get a couple of hits to start the inning, and they are able to cash in on the pass ball. So now it's a 2-1 Yankee lead. Popped up. Walker in foul territory makes the catch. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays get back-to-back singles to start it. Luke Maile comes in to score. We'll keep an eye on Devin Travis if he takes the field.
the 6 is presented by TD. Start your night with the Blue Jays on Thursday, April 26th. The first 15,000 fans in attendance receive this Josh Donaldson t-shirt. Then join us pregame in the WestJet flight deck for live music and entertainment. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. A bringer of rain. We got some good news about Josh Donaldson today. He started to throw down in Dunedin. He's been hitting, he's been running, he's been conditioning, and now he's starting to throw again. That's good.
That's really good. Got to get him back here and get him in the lineup, enjoying some of this fun.
Aaron Judge walked his first time up. Those are pretty good pitches. Sanchez wondering what he's got to do to throw a strike. By design, he's working Judge upstairs. Comes right back up there. Judge is a very good low ball hitter. At 6'7", he's got tremendous extension. He can cover those pitches down and out. So you try to elevate the ball to him and pitch him inside.
But he's been so patient this year. He's got 16 walks now this season, second most in the American League. In fact, he just tied Matt Joyce of Oakland for the most walks in the American League. So he shows the patience. You just have to make pitches on him. Look at that. 2-2 changeup on the black, and he's able to take it, lay off of it.
He didn't even offer, didn't even flinch, picked it up early. 3-2 pitch. He throws him another one. Boy, that's the development of that changeup. Judge strikes out for the 19th time, and Sanchez has really gained confidence in that changeup.
Yeah, that's the whole big part of that, is having the confidence in it, and the confidence to come right back and use it once again.
Take a look at the swing and miss percentage when Aaron throws that changeup. 15 and 16. We discounted 17. He only made 8 starts. But the difference between this start against New York and his first start against New York, he only threw 17 changeups out of 89 pitches the first time, and he has improved that dramatically. He can throw it any time now.
He can use it as a finishing pitch. He can get ahead with his fastballs like he did right there to Didi Gregorius, or flip a curveball in there. He can then finish it with a changeup.
Oh, and 2. Gregorius, we mentioned, he's off to a great start, came into this game batting .333. The reason I bring that up, everybody's saying, oh, it's cold, it's tough on the hitters, really hard to hit. Didi's hitting great, and he's from Curaçao.
The American RBI leaders, AL RBI leaders. We were talking about that yesterday coming over to New York. Jed Lowry leads the American League in RBIs.
Got 21 ribbies at the start of play today.
Guess who's second?
Mr. Didi.
Didi.
Sir Didi. 16 RBIs. Curveball popped in the air. Travis going out. Grichuk's going to get there and makes the catch to retire Gregorius. So Giancarlo Stanton flied out to left field his first time up. And we take a look at his home road splits. It's been much more pleasant for him hitting on the road than it has been here at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more pressure right here. The fans getting on him. Don Mattingly was just here with the Miami Marlins, and he was asked about playing in New York, and he says, you know, it's tough. I've seen players succeed in other cities, but this is a different animal playing in New York.
Ground ball to Hopper to Diaz. It's short. Quick inning for Aaron Sanchez. That's a shutdown inning after the Blue Jays scored a run in the top half. We'll go to the 4th. It's a 2-1 Yankee lead.
Blue Jays members, listen up. Log in to My Blue Jays and enter the code MBJ8102 to earn My Blue Jays points just for watching the broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. Your code must be entered by 4 a.m. And just to add to what Buck talked about with Josh Donaldson, John Gibbons said he felt great after playing catch yesterday in Dunedin, but he did confirm Donaldson won't be here once he's eligible to come off the DL Saturday. As for Troy Tulowitzki, Buck, he's coming off surgery to remove those bone spurs. He's going to see his surgeon early next week for a follow-up appointment. No timetable for his return. Back to you.
Yeah, obviously surgery very serious for Tulowitzki, and it's going to take him a while to get back to even contemplating baseball activities. So we wish them both the best and a speedy recovery. And there was Solarte, the cleanup hitter. Solarte drew a walk, his 12th walk of the season. He has been a very pleasant surprise in that he's a switch hitter. He's got a lot of pop. He has hit 4 home runs, including a homer yesterday.
I like his versatility, his ability to hit anywhere in the lineup. They've used him 4th because he's come up with some big hits.
Torres is having some defensive game at 3rd, but he throws it in the dirt. He had a little more time than he realized because it was hit so hard right to him. And then he handcuffed Walker over at first. Walker's making his 9th start at first, and Torres didn't do him any favors.
Yeah.
That's the 18th error committed by the Yankees.
Yeah, they've talked about cleaning that up just a little bit. Torres knocks it down and then really doesn't crow hop to get his legs into his throw. Walker, normally a second baseman, can't come up with that low throw. It's just the 2nd error of the season for Torres. He's been great.
But the Blue Jays need to take advantage, and that has been a real problem for the Yanks. And Pilar gets hit. He's waving off the training staff, but now an error and a hit batter, and the Yankees have created a problem for themselves. Ted Barrett, him, going to help Pilar to his feet. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, next to Aaron Boone, the manager. The Yankees have been scuffling kind of in every aspect of the game.
Cut it right off the toe. And on a cold night, that hurts.
On a warm night, that hurts. Right off the toe. But the starting pitchers, they've been pitching to a .484 earned run average. That's 9th in the American League. Diaz shows bunt and takes a strike. The bullpen, which was really highly touted at the start of the season, is maybe the best bullpen in the American League. Right now, they are 12th in earned run average.
They've dealt with their share of injuries. Blue Jays now trying to take advantage of an error and a hit batter. Yankees still think they're going to bunt. I don't think so.
Fly ball, not deep. Hicks calls for it, and it's not deep enough for Solarte to tag.
Hit a home run with any project this season. Home Hardware, proud sponsor of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yankee Stadium, the new version of Yankee Stadium, if you will. It's been so cold here. The Yankees told me during batting practice there was a little bit of sunshine, and they were all joking about how nice it was. Well, it's cooled off dramatically now. Randall Grichuk. He goes after that off-speed pitch and pulls it foul. Grichuk called out on strikes his first time up.
He could use a knock here. Starting to have some better at bats, making a little bit more solid contact.
pops this one up. Playable. Gregorius backpedaling into the outfield, stays with it and makes the catch. So a promising start to the inning, but since a couple of fly ball outs, and now there are 2 outs, but here comes red hot Luke Maile. Maile singled his first time up. He's hitting a cool 500 right now. He's 11 for 22.
6 for 6 with runners in scoring position this year. He's driven in 8 runs.
He's got a 7-game hit streak. He's gotten hits in each of his 7 games. First pitch breaking ball. The Yankees lead it 2-1. Blue Jays scored on a pass ball charged to Gary Sanchez in the 3rd. Maile scored that run. Ground ball up the middle, through for a base hit. Solarte's around 3rd. He's going to score. Another big hit for Luke Maile.
It's not how hard you hit him, it's where you hit him. The shortstop, Didi Gregorius, was really playing him the pull, maybe 3 or 4 steps from his normal straight up position at shortstop, and it cost him. Looks like he hit it off the end of the bat. There's Gregorius. You can see where he's playing. It's not hit that hard, but it just squeaks by Gregorius under the glove of Wade, and the Blue Jays have tied it. They haven't gotten him out this year with runners in scoring position.
Maile now has 2 hits in the game. That gives him 4 straight multiple hit games.
Amazing.
Devin Travis singled his only time up. Fly ball into center. Hicks is waiting there, makes the catch. The Blue Jays will score a run. They leave a pair, but Luke Maile is already 2 for 2. He's scored a run and driven in a run. Bottom of the 3rd inning against Aaron Judge, and it's interesting how he finished off Judge.
Yeah, he gets to a count of 2-2. Watch all the pitches that he throws. He gets to 3-2, then he throws the changeup to make it 3-2, and then comes right back with it to pick up that strikeout. 2-2 changeup, goes right back to it. He laid off the first one and then came back and struck him out on that 3-2 changeup.
He's got 2 strikeouts, of course. He got Gardner to end the bottom of the 2nd. So it's a brand new game, and the Blue Jays have tied it up. Mainly with the game tying RBI. It's a 2-2 ball game. It'll be Sanchez, Hicks, and Walker for the Yankees in the bottom of the fourth. Sanchez goes after the first pitch. Hernandez, the left fielder, makes the catch. Looked like he may have lost it momentarily. It's still a little bit twilight here in New York. Kind of put his hands out to the side as if he said, I don't see it, but he stayed with it.
He had to wait for it to get above the lights. And battling with the mask, there it is. Sees it now, gets above the lights, and then it gets to the black sky. You can pick it back up.
Aaron Hicks scored the first Yankee run. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored on the ground ball out by Tyler Wade. How much do you think the Blue Jays players put into this series as a measure of just where they are?
Well, I think they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. Even when they fall behind early, their at-bats have been good. The pitchers have come through, and I think they're playing with a lot of confidence. I think they really want to see how they measure up now against the American League East.
Grounder to second. Travis throws Hicks out.
You go on the road, you play the Yankees, 4 big games at Yankee Stadium. Then you play the Boston Red Sox, who are as hot as anybody in baseball. I think it really could be a nice little measuring stick for the Jays over the next week or so.
The Blue Jays won the season series a year ago 10-9. I mean, it was very close, but you know, there are a lot of new Jays experiencing this rivalry for the first time. So you come in here and say, okay, how do we match up and stack up against the Yankees? And no matter what the Yankees teams are like in a given year, still the New York Yankees.
It's still the Yankees. You're right. Now, having said all of that, and not making it a big and a huge series, because there's so much left of the season, I think the players just, you know, they want to see how they stack up, but they're saying, you know, it's still April, right?
But it's a lot better April than last April. Ground ball off the end of the bat. Aaron Sanchez, another shutdown inning. This inning took him just 7 pitches to retire the side in order. We'll go to the 5th. It's a 2-2 game in New York. Pierce, Hernandez, and Smoke, top of the order for the Blue Jays. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell along with Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Jays Baseball Academy will be hosting 14 Honda Super Camps across the country. Learn techniques from former Blue Jays, including Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar, Lloyd Mosby, Jesse Barfield, and Dwayne Ward. Register now at bluejays.com/camps.
A terrific opportunity for youngsters to get some great instruction from some of the best. So check it out. Blue Jay Super Camps. CC Sabathia set to start the top of the 5th. Steve Pearce goes around, according to Lance Barksdale, the first base umpire. The cutter inside off the plate. Sabathia hasn't really lost much of his velocity lately on his fastball. What he has done is just incorporated those sliders, cutters, and changeups a little more.
That's right. He was 95 plus when he first started. The fastball's down in right around 90. He's 37 years old. He's just coming off the disabled list, so I think he's getting close to the end tonight. I think they've gotten, if they can get 5 innings out of Sabathia, I think they'll be very happy with that performance.
Chad Green, hard-throwing right-hander, first up for New York. Yeah, I think you're right. Given his age, the fact that he's on the DL, cool night tonight, throwing a few pitches that might just call it a short night for CC.
Well, it has nothing to do with his arm, because there's nothing wrong with his arm. It's his hip, his right hip. He had to come out of that game after 4 innings, so no chance to stretch it.
This is going to get down. Judge cuts it off and does a nice job to keep Pearce to a long single. Aaron Judge, a very good outfielder. Because of his power, you don't really pay attention to his defense, but he did a nice job to keep Pearce from getting to second.
How about the athleticism of Aaron Judge? Remember, he started a game back at Rogers Center in center field for the Yankees. This looked like it was double all the way off the bat of Steve Pearce. Stays right with that outside breaking ball, rips it up. It looked like it was going up the gap, but he cuts it off, holds him to a single.
Teoscar Hernandez is 0 for 2. Shows bunt. Sanchez again has one go off his glove. That'll be another pass ball charge to Gary Sanchez, and the Blue Jays have taken advantage of a tough night for the catcher.
Was he anticipating Hernandez hitting that ball, bunting at that ball?
It can be a distraction for sure.
He just whiffed on it.
When you get that bat in front of your face mask, sometimes you lose sight of the baseball, and it just clanked right off his glove.
Teoscar trying to hit the ball the other way. Now that there's that runner in scoring position,
I think he should just drive him in. I don't think he should change his stroke as well as he's been swinging the bat. Just continue to focus on having a good pitch to hit.
Got to do it now. 0-2.
Ground ball. Gregorius will keep Pearce at second, and Hernandez grounds out. That's a tough pitch to hit to the right side. So Aaron Boone has come out of the Yankee dugout, and that indicates a pitching change. So there's the call to the bullpen. It'll be Chad Green taking over for CC Sabathia. Sabathia has thrown 72 pitches. He turns things over to the bullpen. First up for the Yankees, Chad Green, the hard-throwing right-hander. He'll face Justin Smoke, who will turn around and bat left-handed for the first time tonight in this 2-2 game. First start since coming off the disabled list. Really didn't get helped out by his defense. Reyes committed an error. His catcher, Gary Sanchez, committed 2 pass balls, and now he leaves the game and turns it over to Chad Green.
Chad Green arguably is their best reliever. Look what he has done in 7 games. No record, great earned run average, 8 1/3 innings, 14 punch outs, and just 1 walk. He has a strikeout in each of his, at least 1 in each of his 7 games this season. Good hard fastball, and he can really cut that fastball too.
He worked in 2 of the 4 games at Rogers Center to open up the season. Justin Smoak is 0 for 2. Pierce at second with 1 out.
He comes right after you with that fastball. Blue Jay hitters can expect a lot of fastballs from Green.
Smoak hasn't had a hit against Green. He's 0 for 6. Well, let's just think back to the play to start this inning by Aaron Judge. He cut off a ball that was potentially a leadoff double by Pierce to keep Pierce at first, and now after the pass ball, Pierce is at second, and this ball is skied to center field. Hicks waits for it, and Smoak's retired.
Yeah, if he doesn't cut that ball off, he's at second base. Either the pass ball or the ground ball was going to get him over third base with less than 1 out, and probably would have scored on that long fly ball right there. So his defense right there shows up in this game.
Chad Green led the American League in the inherited runners percentage last year. He allowed just 12.9% of the inherited runners to score, and he has inherited a runner in scoring position.
Here's that high fastball. He's going to come right with it. Come right at you with it. Pitched in 69 innings last season and had over 100 strikeouts. So it's just another one of those hard throwing righties that the Yankees have in that bullpen.
.95 in a good spot. 0-2. So Solarte is a terrific fastball hitter, and he has hit Green in the past. He's 2 for 3 with a home run.
So he knows that, keeping that fastball away from him.
Solarte got a piece of it. Sanchez holds on for the strikeout. The Blue Jays leave a runner in scoring position. Can it take advantage of a leadoff single?
Jays podcast pulls back the curtain on baseball because everyone in the game has a story, a human story. New episodes of A Swing and a Belt with Dan Shulman are available every Thursday through the baseball season. And Buck, I'm told you can listen to special guests John Gibbons and David Cohn in this week's podcast. Back to you.
A couple of interesting former Mets for sure. John Gibbons, #1 pick of the Mets, and David Cohn had a terrific career playing here in New York with both the Yankees and the Mets. Tyler Wade goes after the first pitch and grounds out to Devin Travis. Travis has been busy tonight. I have him with 5 ground ball outs.
3 in a row. The last 3, a couple of change-ups. That was a first pitch curveball that he was going to get over for a strike, and got another weak ground out.
Again, we must emphasize, excuse me, Pat, that Sanchez, compared to his first start, is a totally different pitcher than the Yankees faced at Rogers Center.
Emphasis on pitcher. He's pitching now. He hasn't given up a solid hit. Remember, in that second inning, he gave up 3 bloops, and the Yankees scored a couple of runs.
Gary Sanchez had a little flare off the handle into right field to start the inning. Aaron Hicks hit a weak ground ball to first baseman. Oh, actually, that was a sharply hit ball. That was the best contact the Yankees made in that inning. It was a fielder's choice. And then Neil Walker hit one off the end of the bat that went for a double in right field, and Ron Torres had a little flare over the shortstop's glove into left field. 2 runs on 3 hits, all in the second inning.
He throws it with so much ease. See how he stood tall there? Just ran that fastball just 90 miles an hour and just let the sink and the movement take it in on the hands. You know, when you're under control like that, and you're just pitching and you're hitting your spots, you can throw all night.
Pete Walker has to be really pleased with the development of Aaron Sanchez. He has done a terrific job of continuing to work on becoming a pitcher, and adding the changeup is certainly a great asset.
Takes a little stress off of your arm too.
All right, he loses the #9 hitter. That's the second walk issued by Aaron.
The 2018 Civic. When it leads off, it leads for good. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Lots of great history here. And of course, Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth, they were teammates for the Yankees and did so many great things. Torres at first, but Gardner takes the first pitch strike.
Last time Gardner was up, they started the runner over at first base. Gardner ended up striking out, so it didn't matter. Don't think they're going to start the runner now. What Aaron Boone is trying to do right now as the manager is get Aaron Judge to the plate. So he doesn't want to start Torres over at first base, have him thrown out. There he is. He's next.
7 ground ball outs registered by Sanchez, and a double play is what the doctor would order right now. Get that double play and leave Judge on the on deck circle. The walk issued to Torres snapped a streak of 8 in a row retired by Sanchez. Gardner hasn't had much success against Aaron.
Yeah, pound that fastball in there. Very patient at the plate. You've got to be aggressive with him.
Ground ball through the right side for a base hit. Torres had to hold up and let the ball pass, so he advances only to second. That's just the third career hit for Gardner against Sanchez.
Wasn't hit that hard. Took a little something off of that one, had him out in front. It wasn't hit that hard, and there's Torres having to wait, so he can only advance to second. Ball barely got it to the outfield to Grichuk.
So now here's one of those classic matchups. Power hitter against a power pitcher. Judge struck out in the third. First pitch changeup. That's the pitch that Sanchez struck Judge out with in the third. Threw him a 3-2 changeup.
He's getting the feel for that changeup, isn't he? Where he's taking a little bit more off. Remember that when he was throwing that thing 90 miles an hour? That last one was down to 84.
Yeah, and that's a great point because he was trying to get a feel for the grip on the changeup, and you want to recreate the same arm action as the fastball, and you have to take the velocity off with the grip, not with your arm action.
That's right, and he found a great grip that works for him.
Ground ball. Solarte, second for one, back to first, not in time. Just wasn't hit that sharply. And Judge, we mentioned before, he's a terrific athlete. He got down the line.
He chews up a lot of real estate with those long strides up the line. And the ball wasn't hit that sharply. Two long throws. Here's the first one from Solarte. Devin Travis with the long throw, and it looks like he beat it.
So Judge reaches to keep the inning alive. Torres moves to third, and now Didi Gregorius. The dangerous Didi Gregorius. He's 0 for 2 so far. A line out and a fly out.
He's come up with some big RBIs for him already this year.
And there's another. First pitch base hit. Gregorius looked like he was looking changeup. He got it. Hit it off the end of the bat, but got it past Travis into right field, and the Yankees have regained the lead.
Yeah, he was out in front, but he kept his hands back long enough. There's the changeup grip. There's the changeup. He was out in front, but kept his hands back enough to whip that ball through the hole on the right side. He's come up with some clutch hits just out of the reach of Travis. So the hustle play by Judge gets the Yankees a run.
Two outs. Giancarlo Stanton 0 for 2. Boy, that walk to the number 9 hitter with 1 out. Torres walked, and he comes around to score.
Yeah, he was ahead 1 and 2 also. Threw 3 fastballs and missed. Ended up walking them.
Stanton just 1 for 12 batting with runners in scoring position here at Yankee Stadium. Right on the corner. When you look at Judge and Stanton, they are equally powerful, but they have a totally different approach at the plate. A dramatic closed stance for Stanton.
Both of them power to all fields. Doesn't matter where they hit it, it can go out. Right now, that high fastball has been a good pitch for the pitchers against him.
Another breaking ball, 2 in a row off the plate, and Stanton wouldn't chase. Now here's an interesting situation. Stanton with a 3-2 count in the first inning got a changeup and flew out to left. Would he dare look for an off-speed pitch?
He's tried a couple of curveballs to him, hard breaking balls.
Gary Sanchez is on deck. Full count, 2 outs. Judge and Gregorius will both be moving on this pitch. There they go. Ground ball up the middle. Travis behind second. Better hurry. Not in time. Devin laid back a little bit, and Sanchez busted it out of the box. Another soft base hit for the Yankees.
Stanton is a great athlete also, just like Aaron Judge. What Devin did is he caught the ball, then he had to set his feet, and I think that's what gave Stanton a chance to beat it out. Runners are going, so you don't have a play at either base. Watch him catch. Now he's got to set his feet, and by that time, the long strides of Giancarlo Stanton gets him to first base. Hustling all the way out of the box, and that's an infield hit.
6 hits now for New York, and as we mentioned, I can't remember one that's been hit hard.
That's why you can't get too down. Don't look at the scoreboard, the reactions. The Yankees haven't had many good swings at his pitches tonight.
Gary Sanchez has a base hit, but that was the little flare off the bat handle into right field back in the second. It is so difficult for a hitter when he's all pumped up to drive in big runs to time up a changeup on the first pitch.
With great movement like that. Now he's got to regather himself. Aaron's got to just stay calm, make a pitch.
Sanchez and Maile having a little difficulty getting together on the signs. Now they're set. Another beautiful changeup. 0-2. And you just wonder now, okay, you've put that in their mind. Gregorius was looking for a changeup, so elevate a fastball. He hasn't done it very often tonight. And for me, it'd be tough for Sanchez to catch up. You see Tim Meza loosening up.
But get it up. Get it up. He's lived down today. Get it up.
They tried it, but missed. 1-2 to Sanchez. He's had a rough night behind the plate. Charged with 2 pass balls. One for 2 at the plate. Ground ball. This should end it. Solarte steps on the bag. Sanchez pitches out of it. But the Yankees score a run to take a 3-2 lead as we head to the 6th.
tomorrow on CBC. The defending champs have imposed their will, but Philly is desperate and defiant. Flyers, Penguins, Game 5 on CBC. Plus, the Jets are back on their game, back to the warmth of a Winnipeg whiteout. Wild Jets, Game 5 tomorrow on Sportsnet. The puck drops on both games at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. We got a heck of a ball game here. Game 1 of a 4-game series in New York. The Yankees have a 3-2 lead. For the Blue Jays, Kevin Pillar will start things off. He is trying to extend his personal hit streak to 10 in a row. Takes first pitch strike from Chad Green. Green came into the ball game with 1 out in the 5th, and he got Smoke and Solarte to end the inning. The one good thing about Green coming in the 5th is he can't pitch the rest of the game. I mean, he's got a good arm.
He's a multiple inning guy. They will bring him in. You saw the inherited runners number that we threw out there. Aaron Boone will bring him in to get out of innings and then give him one more. So you figure finish off the 5th, pitch the 6th. The 7th inning, no Tommy Kahnle. He's on the DL. That's usually where he is. David Robertson's there also. Maybe they get him. Dylan Betances has had his problems at the back end of that bullpen.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Right back to the mound. Green snares it and flips to first. 1 away.
Canada's favorite car cheers for Canada's favorite team. Honda, proud fan since 1977, and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yankee Stadium, a terrific newer ballpark, and they have done a nice job of making the fans very comfortable. A lot of amenities here. Fly ball to right, not deep. Judge with a long run, and he gets there. We talked about him being a great athlete, and he covered a lot of ground for the second out of the inning.
I'm going to put a star next to that one because of the amount of turf he had to cover. He was shading Diaz in right center field. And watch the pop up, how far he has to come. And reach out to haul it in.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Randall Grichuk. .94 foul back. Green has pitched 2 innings twice this season. This is his 8th appearance. And if he gets out of this inning, it'll be an inning and 2/3.
He had an off day yesterday, so I don't know. Would they stretch him out if he has an easy inning?
Well, pretty good indication. There's nobody even stirring in the Yankee bullpen.
He pitched on Tuesday. That was against Miami through an inning. They were off yesterday.
They only threw 12 pitches in that outing. Boy, the book is out on Randall Grichuk. The entire league now throwing him a lot of high fastballs. And he's got to come up with the idea to lay off those high pitches and see if he can't work them down into the strike zone.
Either that or start hitting them with authority.
Another high fastball. He strikes out for a second time. Chad Green, 3 up, 3 down in the 6th. Yankees still have the lead.
for an afternoon of baseball with a country twist. Saturday, April 28th, the first 20,000 fans will receive a plaid raglan shirt. Then enjoy a pregame performance by Canada's top country duo High Valley in the WestJet flight deck. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Thank you very much. Obviously, a very popular promotional day, a country day for the Blue Jays. Aaron Sanchez, 6 hits, and I said it before, not many of them hit very hard. He's thrown 88 pitches through 5 innings, but the Yankees have the lead. Hicks, Walker, and Wade, 6, 7, and 8 in the Yankees lineup. Hicks scored the first run of the ball game back in the second. Ground ball. Travis from his knees. Not in time. It'll be an infield hit for Hicks. Another hit that is a ground ball.
Yeah, could have easily been right at him. But unfortunately for the Blue Jays, Devin Travis, he did everything he could, and he wasn't going to get Hicks. He does everything he can to get there, catch it, slide, fire from his knees. Even if that ball was on target, he wasn't going to get Hicks. He runs too well. So another hit for the Yankees, another infield hit for the Yankees.
Neil Walker, he had a fly ball double in right field back in the second. And it was a fly ball off the end of the bat. Sanchez threw him a changeup. He was out in front of it, but because Grichuk was playing him up the alley in right center, he had a long run and couldn't get there in time.
Let's see if they pound him inside here. He is right on top of the plate.
Tyler Clippert, the former Yankee, starting to loosen up in the Blue Jays bullpen. Clippert had 2 different stints with the Yankees. He started his career in New York, came back in New York last season. Well, we questioned whether or not Chad Green was going to come out for another inning. It looks that's not going to be the case as Dylan Betances loosens up. Ground ball foul.
Hicks runs really well over at first base. This might be a running situation here to stay out of the double play. Trying to get some confirmation from the first base coach what's happening.
Hicks not running. Foul back by Walker. Yeah, I kind of agree with you in that in this situation in a 1-run game, because Sanchez has gotten so many ground balls that they might start the runner. Aaron has just 2 strikeouts.
Walker's not a big strikeout guy. He can handle the bat up there.
Hicks still not running. Ground ball off the end of the bat. Travis will go to second to get the lead runner. And the umpire at second base, Will Little, is calling Hicks out as Diaz was making the transfer. The Yankees are looking at their video replay.
This is a play that went to the Blue Jays' way. I believe it was in yesterday's game. A ground ball that initially they said they were taking it out of his glove, and he's clearly taking that out of his glove. He clearly caught it.
And Aaron Boone waves off the umpire, said we will concede the out at second. You're right. He had the glove firmly, ball firmly in his glove. It was Alcides Escobar who dropped the ball for Kansas City on a similar play, and he was charged with an error. But he never had control of the baseball.
No, it just rolled right through his glove, and he never got it in his hand. That's why I thought they might start the runner, because of that right there.
Tyler Wade has hit 2 ground balls to second. He's grounded out twice. But the first time he grounded out was with a runner at third, and he picked up an RBI. He drove in the first run of the game. In Aaron's last start, he was actually out of the game when it was 1-1, and then Curtis Granderson hit the home run in the 9th inning. That was in Baltimore. Hernandez backing up in left is there to make the catch. 2 away. Wade is now 0 for 3. So it's always important late in the game if a starter wants to complete an inning.
And you want to complete this inning right here. You got to get the number 9 man. 2 outs to Reyes. He has an RBI single and a big walk his last time up.
It's a difference in the game. He drew a 1-out walk in the 5th and scored on the Gregorius RBI single. Hits it hard. Travis knocks it down, and they'll get the runner at second for the force out. So Aaron Sanchez completes 6 innings. He's allowed just 3 runs on 7 hits, but the Blue Jays trail. CC Sabathia, he threw a total of 71 pitches over 4 1/3. And he didn't give up an earned run. 2 runs were charged to Sabathia, but they were unearned runs. An error by Torres, a couple of pass balls by the catcher contributing to the 2 runs. And he was making his first start since coming off the DL, so they were very conservative with the pitch count. He was out after just 1 out in the 5th.
So he gave way to Chad Green, who retired all 5 batters that he faced. Ellen Betances now takes over here in the 7th inning. He was, at the beginning of the season, the 8th inning man, setting up Aroldis Chapman. He's had some problems this year against the Blue Jays for sure. Opponent's hitting .344 off of the big right-hander. Still has that great fastball and a lot of breaking balls. He's been throwing a lot of breaking pitches this year.
First pitch breaking ball to Luke Maile. All Maile has done is gone 2 for 2, scored a run and driven in a run. Luke Maile has been perfect this season, batting with runners in scoring position. And when you take it back to last September, he's had 9 consecutive at-bats with runners in scoring position with a hit. That's the most consecutive such at-bats in franchise history coming through. He takes a strike.
9 for his last 9.
It's a bit of irony in that streak. It's the longest streak by any major league player. Since Troy Tulowitzki with the Rockies had a streak of 10 back in 2014.
Wow.
10 straight at bats with runners in scoring position delivering a hit. Outside, full count. This is another thing Maile has done very well. He has certainly been more patient, and he suggests that that's the root of his success this year. Just being more selective and getting a good pitch to hit. Maile is batting .500. Travis will be next. Called strike 3. Betances used the fastball that time and strikes out Maile to start the inning.
All breaking balls, then a fastball that ran at the 3-2. I thought he might cross him up and try and throw another breaking ball, but he went heater. Luke thought that one was up, maybe in. You can see from that replay that it's in the strike zone. He and Chad Green last year for the Yankees, they both had 100 strikeouts coming out of the bullpen.
Well, that's what you want out of your bullpen. You bring pitchers into the game late. You don't want contact. You don't want to allow runners to reach or be moved around the bases, so you get a lot of strikeouts, and that leads to a lot of success.
I think that's what has made what the Blue Jays have done this year, early part of the season from the 7th inning on. Really impressive. You're facing setup man and closers.
Breaking ball hit to the shortstop. Gregorius gathers and fires 2 away. Aaron Sanchez, the starter, more than likely finished for the night. Sanchez has thrown 99 pitches over the 6 innings. And you can see Maile congratulating Sanchez after Aaron visited with Pete Walker, the pitching coach. 2 outs, back to the top of the order. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. There aren't a whole lot of Blue Jays that have had success against Betances. There you see David Robertson. He looks like he's getting ready to pitch the 8th inning, or maybe out of a jam should Betances run into trouble. But when you look at the career numbers for the Blue Jay hitters, there's a lot of offers. Pierce is 0 for 4. Pilar has had success. He's 4 for 8 with a homer. Smoke is 0 for 8 against Betances.
So you might be saying, well, why isn't Curtis Granderson hitting right here? I'm thinking more towards the end of the game. I'm thinking the 9th inning. If it comes back around, chances are Aroldis Chapman's going to be in the game. So you want to leave Pierce in the game here in the 7th inning to face Chapman if it comes to that in the 9th.
When you only have 3 bench players, you have to be very prudent as to when you use them. Well, those pitches are tough. By my count, there are 4 strikes there, but it's 3-2. Hernandez waiting on deck. Pierce hits it, but the defense is set up perfectly. Wade throws to first. Betances retires to side in order. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Gardner, Judge, and Gregorius. Tyler Clippard, the former Yankee, coming on for the Jays. Authority of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. First of 4 here in New York against the Yankees, and New York has a 3-2 lead as they're set to bat in the bottom of the 7th. Tyler Clippard, the former Yankee, will come on to start the bottom of the 7th, making his 10th appearance of the season.
He's done a great job for the Blue Jays, pitching in the 7th inning now. He's really locked that down. He's already 2-0 with a 208 earned run average. He's thrown 8 2/3 innings already for the Blue Jays. He's only given up 3 hits all season long. He's given up 1 to the Yankees. That was a home run on Stanton on opening day, but fastball, splitter, changeup have been very effective for him this season. And he has been solid. Blue Jays and John Gibbons have gone to him a lot in the 7th inning, and he's come through for him. Last worked a couple of days ago in Kansas City. Gets another crack at the Yankees.
We are here in New York. It's the bottom of the 7th inning. The Yankees took a 2-0 lead in the 2nd. Blue Jays got a run in the 3rd, a run in the 4th. And New York took the lead in the 5th. A RBI single by Didi Gregorius through the right side of the infield. Ronald Torres, who had drawn a 1-out walk, came in to score the decisive 3rd run. And that's where we stand now as the Yankees bat in the bottom of the 7th. CC Sabathia started for New York. Aaron Sanchez for the Blue Jays. And now the bullpens will go toe-to-toe. Brett Gardner, 1 for 3 against Sanchez, just his 3rd career hit in 19 at-bats against the Blue Jays righty.
Now he gets his former teammate and Tyler Clippard, who's only given up 1 hit all season long to lefties. 1 for 16.
What makes him so effective against left-handed
His
hitters?
great changeup, and I think his splitter. He's not afraid to throw it to the lefties or righties. That little split finger that he has come up with has become very effective. His changeup has always been a great pitch against lefties.
Clippard began his career with the Yankees, but he spent most of his big league time in Washington with the Nationals. He was traded in December of 2007 to Washington for Jonathan Albaladejo. Boy, Luke Maile took one off the mask there. Clippard has pitched in both leagues. We mentioned that he came back and pitched in New York in two different situations. Pitched for the Mets in 2015, for the Yankees in 2016, after starting his career in 2007 with New York, the Yankees.
He's closed before. So when you've closed and now you're pitching in the 7th inning, takes a little stress off.
Well, you talk about positioned perfectly. Teoscar Hernandez, almost in his tracks, makes the catch, one away.
Hit a home run with any project this season. Home Hardware, proud sponsor of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Aaron Judge officially 0 for 2. He walked in the first, struck out in the third. Clippard's fastball velocity has ticked up a notch or two, and that has certainly been very effective as far as how his changeup works.
Staying on the ball, on top of the ball just a little bit better. Getting that arm up and really keeping that hand behind the baseball. That'll help that fastball velocity.
That last pitch looked like a cutter, but it was probably the splitter he throws, and it'll move in both directions. That's a good pitch, and Clippard wanted it. You can't blame him.
He looked at the scoreboard to confirm that that ball was called out of the strike zone. It looked like a little bit of a slider or something.
Yeah.
The spin on it did.
We have talked to Tyler about what he throws, and he said, I've never been a guy that could really make the ball break. So his bread and butter has always been the changeup. He can throw that anytime. And he has developed a pretty good split finger pitch. Two balls, two strikes to Aaron Judge. Now it's a full count. Didi Gregorius is on deck. He has the go-ahead RBI to this point. High and deep to left, and that one's going to go. Aaron Judge has just connected for his 5th home run of the season, his 11th career home run against the Blue Jays.
He's the fastest in the history of the game to 60 home runs. That's number 5 of the season. It looked like some type of off-speed pitch, and that was helpful to Judge because he could catch the ball out in front. And with his power, the way he can launch the ball and how high he hits the baseball, he just muscles it out. They wanted to go down and away, and there's the off-speed pitch. He catches it out in front and gives him a 2-run lead.
The home run you were talking about, his 60th career home run, came here on Monday night in his 197th career game. So that snapped the record previously held by Mark McGwire, who accomplished 60 home runs in the span of 202 games. Didi Gregorius, he's out in front of that pitch and lifts a fly ball to center. 2 outs in the inning. Yankees now with a 4-2 lead.
He had the right pitch he wanted to. It's just Judge has become a good off-speed hitter. A really good off-speed hitter. There was a time where you could get him out by spinning the ball. Now he stays back. Caught it out in front.
And the Blue Jays relievers have now surrendered 8 home runs this season. Overall, they've been terrific as a unit. They lead the American League in earned run average coming into this game. They lead in strikeout to walk ratio and walks per 9 innings. You go back to the Judge at bat and think about the pitch that was down and away that looked like a strike, and Clipper didn't get the call. So it changed the complexion of an entire at bat.
Instead of 1-2, it was 2-1.
Yeah, the mindset of a hitter changes dramatically. You become defensive at 1-2. Plus, you get to see a couple more pitches. Outside. We had mentioned the comparison between Aaron Judge and Mark McGwire. Judge's home run, his 61st home run, comes in his 199th game. McGwire hit his 61st home run in game number 204.
Same kind of home runs, right? And McGwire, when he first started, hit those long, high fly balls that just carried further than everybody else. He does the same thing. Long fly balls because he's so big and strong. Where a normal man, that's a warning track power. His end up in the seats.
You and I both watched him take batting practice today, and the first couple of swings he hit balls to right field, and it was like amazing where they ended up. Just booming high fly balls, you know, 3/4 of the way up in the bleachers and right.
The bleacher creatures, right? That's John Axford now just starting to get loose. Bleacher creatures would have been able to catch some of those balls way deep in right field.
Full count, 2 outs. Yankees have a run in here in the 7th, and Aaron Judge home run number 5 for Judge on the season. Tyler Clippard in relief of starter Aaron Sanchez. Sanchez worked 6 innings, charged with 3 runs on 7 hits. Stanton will take the walk. For Stanton, that's just the 8th walk of the season. Gary Sanchez 1 for 3. Sanchez, a very aggressive hitter, goes after that first pitch, an off-speed pitch.
Don't throw him a fastball. He is always sitting fastball. He can turn on anybody's number 1.
Clipper to hit 0-2. This is the first game of a 4-game series tomorrow's pitching matchup. Sonny Gray goes up against Marco Estrada. On Saturday, Jordan Montgomery against Marcus Stroman, and Luis Severino will pitch against Jaime Garcia in the series finale on Sunday afternoon. Maile with the block, snap throw, but runner is back. Stanton at first.
Starting to get cold, so I haven't seen too many split fingers from him. I wonder if that has something to do with it. And you see him blowing on his hand a lot, trying to get some kind of feeling in those fingers.
Moisture is a concern because it's cold and dry, and that ball gets very slick, which would have an effect on his split finger grip. Two and two now.
Trying to lick his fingers and blow on them to get some feeling in there and get a grip. Change-up not so much, but more for his split.
Clippard has now thrown 25 pitches. Ball in the dirt, throw to second is in time. Stanton trying to advance on the ball in the dirt. Maile was on his toes and throws a strike to second to end the inning. But Aaron Judge gets his first hit of the night with one out. He goes deep. Home run number 5, RBI number 11 to extend the Yankee lead.
The 8th, and he told me he's been focusing on pitch recognition over the last 3 years, and you're seeing the results of all that hard work now. He said he's noticed pitchers throwing him a lot of breaking balls, particularly down and away. He says he's done a pretty good job laying off those pitches this time around. Hitting coach Brooke Jacoby said that's been huge for Hernandez. He's watched Hernandez reach for those balls out of the strike zone in the past. His upper body would lean in, and no one, Brooke Jacoby told me, unless you're Vladimir Guerrero Sr., can get to those baseballs. Now he's more upright, meaning he's in a better and stronger position to hit. As for Hernandez's future with the big club, Buck, manager John Gibbons said, quote, "I don't think he has anything more to prove in AAA."
Well, that's good news for Hernandez for sure, because the Blue Jays have to make a roster move tomorrow. Kendrys Morales will be activated off the DL. This is David Robertson into the ball game. This is his 10th appearance of the season.
He is now setting up Aroldis Chapman, taking over the 8th inning for the Yankees. He's closed in the past.
Hernandez hits it into left field, makes a big turn around first. Good job by Brett Gardner to get back in quickly, but Hernandez with the leadoff single here in the 8th. And look at Aaron Judge where he's running from. He went all the way behind the first base bag should there be a throw to first base. Managers love that kind of effort. Everybody has somewhere to be on every play. And Teoscar thought about going to second. A Judge said, hey, I better get back there in case there's a throw to first. That was terrific.
Backing up the play. You're right. Everybody has some place to go when the ball's in play. You might be thinking about your last at bat if the ball's hit away from you and you stand up there and become a spectator. Not that guy. Well, just like that, Blue Jays bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, the last time that Smoke faced Robertson, hit a grand slam. He can't hit a grand slam now, but he can tie it. He's having a good look at David Robertson. You'll remember in that first series, the Yankees, Aaron Boone's manager, Aaron Boone, walked Donaldson to load the bases to get to Smoke, who had homered earlier in the game. Those are the only 2 home runs Smoke has hit all season.
No fastballs. He's got a good overhand curveball. He's got that natural cut to his fastball. Smokey's looking for something out over the plate that he can get into the air to right field.
The Yankees played the analytical game in that matchup. At the time, Smoke was 0 for 5 against Robertson, while Donaldson had done some damage. But at the time of Smoke's grand slam, Donaldson was struggling and Smoke was swinging the bat really well.
That's why you got to trust what your eyes see.
3-1 to Justin Smoke. Ball 4. A terrific at bat, and that'll bring Solarte to the plate. Well, we've talked about it all year long. The Blue Jays have had more success late in ball games than anybody in the majors. And they've got the right man at the plate in Solarte.
He's already hit a home run against the Yankees this year. And you got to bet that he's looking for something first pitch firm like that he can drive out of here.
Solarte been on base twice. He walked and reached on an error. He came around to score the second Blue Jay run in the 4th. At that time, that tied it at 2-2. Yankees now lead 4-2. Taking all the way. Had a good look at that breaking ball for ball 1. Blue Jays again trying to come back late in the ball game. Ball 2. And you can hear the crowd here at Yankee Stadium getting a little bit anxious.
Yeah, starting to moan just a little bit. They've got their share of strikeout pitchers down in that bullpen, but their ERA right now this season is inflated, about 4.5.
Blue Jays have scored 45 runs in the 7th inning or later. 9 more than the second place Cubs.
3-0 to Solarte.
He hit a 3-0 pitch for the first time in his career out of the ballpark yesterday.
You can bet he's got the green light here.
Robertson struggling to find the strike zone. Ball 4. That'll load the bases. We mentioned the Yankees and their bullpen highly touted at the start of the season. That walk's going to bring the pitching coach out of the bullpen. The Yankees, when you look at the makeup of their bullpen, you go, wow, they've got Chapman, they've got Betances, they've got Robertson, they've got Warren and Green. But so they have struggled.
So they're first in strikeouts per 9 innings. This is what has happened to the Yankees since those first 2 games of the season. And what has happened to the Blue Jays? Remember, the Blue Jays lost the first 2 games to the Yankees, and everybody said, okay, that's it, season's over. Well, the Blue Jays have gone 10-3, and the Yankees have gone 6-6. big part of that. Run differential, yes. But the bullpen for the Yankees, what everybody said was going to be the way to carry them. There's Curtis Granderson getting ready.
Communication is so important, so John Gibbons is letting Curtis know what the manager's thinking.
He might have him pinch hit for Grichuk. Nobody up in the bullpen.
Kevin Pillar, nobody out and the base is loaded. There's a fastball for strike one. Pillar came into this game with a 9-game hitting streak.
This is where you don't want to get too anxious. Stay within yourself.
Good take. Ball on the strike. Kevin is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. He has not had a hit against David Robertson in 6 at-bats.
Blue Jays just 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. Another strength that they have shown the first couple weeks of the season.
Fastball. Robertson changing things up a bit. 1-2 now. Hernandez started it off with a leadoff single, followed by walks to Smoke and Solarte. Pillar covers that outside pitch and stays alive.
Another fastball. He was missing with his breaking ball, so he's gone to the fastball. When you talk about fastball, there's another one.
Well, this move here is a reaction to Gibbons talking to Granderson. So Aaron Boone looked across the diamond and said, okay, well, they're thinking about Granderson, and they only have one left-handed bat on the bench. So now they're getting Chapman ready. A ball and 2 strikes. Breaking ball. First out of the inning.
So he changed up on him. He went fastball early and finished it off with that good overhand curveball. The first 3 batters of the inning, it was curveball early, and then had to come in with the fastball. Now that time Pillar just a little bit off balance on that hard curveball.
Well, John Gibbons has been anything but predictable lately in these situations. We were looking down the lineup saying, okay, maybe he'll hit for Grichuk. But now, since Chapman just now got up, he's going to take a shot with Granderson right here.
Yeah, I don't think Chapman's ready. He just got up. He's only thrown a few baseballs. I don't know if he's completely ready. So I don't think they make the change now.
So Robertson will face Granderson, and Curtis, what did he do yesterday? Hit a grand slam. His 9th career grand slam.
I asked him about it today. He said, you know what I was doing? I was just trying to hit a fly ball. I was trying to get a run in so Hernandez, Teoscar, was hitting behind him so he could stay hot and have another at bat. He drove a curveball out of here for a grand slam.
Lays off that breaking ball. Granderson spent 4 years with the Yankees, and he had some terrific seasons. He led the American League in RBIs in 2011 while playing for New York. He also led it in runs scored. Finished 4th in the MVP voting that year. Driven into center. That's going to drop. 1 run is in. Smoke's going to stop at 3rd. And Granderson delivers yet another pinch hit RBI. Well, the Yankees got some soft base hits early in the game, and now the Blue Jays get one.
It's their turn. You know, if there was 2 outs, that's going to score 2 runs. But Justin Smoke, who's at second base, has to make sure this ball gets down. Watch him. He's got to read it. He's got to read it. He's got to read it. He can only move up. Blue Jays keeping the pressure on. That's an RBI single.
Curtis is 3 for 5 as a pinch hitter with 2 RBIs. Randall Grichuk. Breaking ball for a strike. It's 1-1. One and two. DeMarlo Hale discussing situations with the skipper. Grichuk strikes out. 2 away. Well, how about baseball presenting situations that make you shake your head? But Luke Mailey's going to step up with the bases loaded, having delivered 9 straight base hits with runners in scoring position. A Blue Jays franchise record.
He's got 2 hits and an RBI tonight. He has scored a run.
Pretty good breaking ball right there. Mailey called out on strikes his last time up. Caught looking at a fastball from Dellin Betances. That was in the 7th.
He's found that breaking ball the last 2 batters. He lost it at the beginning of this inning. He's found it the last 2 batters when he needed it.
Bases loaded. 2 away. An 0-2 count on Mailey. High fly ball to left. It's going to stay in the park. Robertson rights the ship and gets out of it. The Blue Jays score a run. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees have a 4-3 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Kevin Barker from the game is brought to you by Coors Light, official beer of Major League Baseball.
Well, He hit a bunch last year. This is number 5 this year. Aaron Judge catches that ball out in front. You can see how he can lift the ball with the best of them. As he lifts that one out of the ballpark, his 5th home run of the season. The difference in tonight's ball game is also our drive of the game.
That home run came off of Tyler Clippert in the 7th inning, and that has been the difference in this game, as Pat mentioned. Now John Axford will come out of the bullpen to pitch here in the 8th.
When I see John Axford working now, you know what comes to my mind? He's got a new toy, and he's playing with it. His 2-seam fastball has been dipping and diving. There's Gift Ngope, who will come in and play shortstop for the Jays. But Axford's 2-seam fastballs, 95 plus with a lot of movement, been eating up righties.
The only issue that Axford has had is the command of the strike zone. He's yanked some pitches out of the zone, but boy, when he gets it in the strike zone, it's no contest.
Yeah, it's almost unhittable for me. You just can't hit it squarely.
Late movement, but downstairs for ball 2. Not only has Axford been an asset pitching, he's been a terrific mentor for some of the younger pitchers down in that bullpen. According to many of the relievers, Axford's responsible for the great chemistry they have in that bullpen. And several of them told me that it's the best bullpen mix they've had in a long time.
Guys care for each other. They root for each other. Pick each other up.
It's reflected in their performance. I spoke specifically to a couple guys today, and they said, hey, everybody down there is pulling for each other. It's great chemistry, and John Axford has a lot to do with that.
I think Gibby's figuring them out also, where they fit, in what inning, in what situation, where they are in the batting order. Do I want a power pitcher? Do I want a lefty? Do I want a change-up artist? So he's figuring them out because there's a lot of new faces down there.
Smoke will go to the bag and take it himself as Sanchez grounds out. Each team, and especially each bullpen, develops their own personality as the season wears on. And you're right, everybody kind of earns their roles. And I think that's why most managers say, well, you know, we're going to sort things out. You don't want to anoint a particular guy a 7th inning pitcher or an 8th inning pitcher until you see him work a while.
Max is new this year. Clippard's new this year. Oh, I'm going to throw Tim Mays in there too. He pitched a little bit last year, but still a little bit of an unknown. Well, it takes a while for the manager to figure out roles and where he would like to see them pitch. I think he's going to play a big role, John Axford, this year.
One and one count on Aaron Hicks, the center fielder. Hicks had an infield hit his last time up, his only hit of the night. Aaron Sanchez surrendered 3 runs on 7 hits over his 6 innings of work. But there was a lot of soft contact made by the Yankee hitters against Sanchez.
I can't recall too many hard hit balls against him.
Hicks hit a hard hit ball at Smoke back in the 2nd inning. Couldn't turn 2. It was a fielder's choice. And that caught Maile in an awkward spot on his glove hand. Not sure if it got his meat or it hit the glove, but it certainly caught him in an awkward fashion. Watch the glove. Yeah, you can see it twisted that hand back.
Foul balls off the thumb, or if you don't catch the ball correctly, the thumb, or when you bend that wrist back. Still trying to shake it out.
That affected him right there, not being able to catch that pitch. Borderline pitch. Maybe if he hangs on to it, he gets the call. John Gibbons can relate to what Maley's dealing with right now, having spent time behind the plate. Full count, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees have a 4-3 lead. Neil Walker, the first baseman, will bat next. It's the 4th walk the Blue Jays have given up in this game. One out for Walker. He doubled and scored in the 2nd. We mentioned Axford with that great movement, but of the 12 pitches he's thrown, only 5 have been strikes.
Well, you're really playing Walker to pull. I think he's going to get one out in front and pull it. If there's a ground ball to the third baseman, Solarte, it'll be interesting to see how the Blue Jays try and turn it. I mean, they might have to go to the shortstop Ngope. He's closer to the bag than Travis is.
Yeah, I'm sure Ngope's got coverage back to the mound, or if a ball's hit to the third baseman. Three and 0. Tyler Wade, the second baseman, waits on deck. Axford worked 2 innings in relief on Monday. Green light for Walker. It's the first time Axford has worked 2 innings this season, but Blue Jays, in an effort to find out just exactly what they have, stretched him out a little bit. He threw the ball very well. Axford retired all 6 he faced, including a strikeout.
Trying to build up a little endurance. See if they can get a couple of innings out of him and Danny Barnes. Blue Jays really don't have a multiple inning guy in their bullpen right now. So they're trying to get a couple guys to do that.
Yeah, if they could get Barnes and Axford to play that role, I think they'd be satisfied. Three and 2. Hicks might be running on this pitch, even though it's just 1 out. There he goes. Cut on and miss. Maley's throws a good one right on the money. Hicks tried to avoid the tag, and Ngope tagged him to end the inning. Maley with a terrific throw. Guns down Hicks. A strike him out, throw him out. We'll go to the 9th. The Blue Jays are down by a run. Travis Pierce and Hernandez.
Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Blue Jays home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. To the ninth inning we go, back upstairs to Buck Martinez and Pat Tabler. Guys.
Thank you very much, Hazel. As you see here, Rose Chapman is into the ball game. Chapman 2 for 2 in save opportunities, and he's making just his 8th appearance of the season.
Yeah, he worked 6 days ago. It was the last time that he was in a ball game. Picked up a save. That was at Detroit. He struck out the side against the Tigers. 257 earned run average for the big closer. You know what you're going to get from him. I'm going to come right after you with a fastball.
Devin Travis will lead things off, takes a ball upstairs for ball 1. Devin is 1 for 3 so far. The Blue Jays trail 4-3. The Yankees have out hit them 8-6. Ball 2. The interesting aspect of this score, Blue Jays trailing by a run, they came into this game batting .343 with runners in scoring position, the best in the majors. Tonight they've gone 2 for 14. So they've had their opportunities. 2-0 to Travis. Ooh, a high strike, same as the other ones. This one was called a strike.
Yeah. Instead of 3-0, it's now 2-1.
Yeah, you can see what John Gibbons thinks about that. Same pitch. Of course you have to swing at it after that last one was called.
Forces you to swing at it. Really no secrets from Aroldis Chapman. Right over the top. He's got the best fastball, I think, in baseball.
Two and 2. Everything is up. Chapman strikes at Travis.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda. You can count on us to get home safe. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977.
We're in the Bronx, New York. Top of the 9th inning. Chapman misses with that 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Remember the last time Steve Pearce was up and you were thinking, oh, maybe he should pinch hit for him. No, this is why. The lineup did come back around. Now he gets a chance to face the lefty in the 9th.
Ball on the strike. Chapman 17 of 30 career outs against the Blue Jays have been the strikeout. He can bring the heat.
And he can save ball games too.
It's 5 for 5 against the Blue Jays. A breaking ball. Pearce got a piece of it, but now Chapman's ahead 1-2. Two away.
So tough to get on top of that high fastball. You can pitch up there when you're throwing 100 miles an hour. Tough to lay off of, tough to do anything with it.
Teoscar Hernandez takes a breaking ball for strike one. Teoscar scored the third Blue Jay run in the 8th inning after delivering a leadoff single. He scored on the Granderson pinch hit base hit. Another breaking ball. He throws 100 and then he gets ahead of Hernandez with 2 breaking balls. Chapman really has the upper hand now.
He can go up with that high fastball. He can try and bounce a breaking ball if he wants to. .101 to punctuate the win. Chapman comes in and strikes out the side. David Robertson got a couple of big strikeouts in the 8th to strand the bases loaded, and the Yankees win the opener 4-3. Difference in the ball game, an Aaron Judge home run. Yeah, and the Blue Jays had their chances. They ended up leaving 8 runners on base. A lot of soft contact off of Aaron Sanchez. I thought he pitched a heck of a game considering where they were in the elements. A lot of soft contact. The Yankees cashed in their opportunities. Blue Jays did not. Blue Jays lose game 1 of this big series against New York.
We'll be back tomorrow night when Marco Estrada takes the mound against Sonny Gray. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great evening. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central with Ken and Ivanka.